Welcome back to Drinking with Craig and Roger. I'm Craig.
I'm Roger.
Now, you may have heard about this. I haven't heard about it yet, but tell me all about what you brought today.
Well, we've got the Rock Solid Let Her Rip whiskey, which sort of can qualify as a moonshine. It's produced locally, rather locally, in Winder, Georgia. And the owner is Billy Stonewall Burt. And this is, I believe, the first legal time these stills have been used. There's a very checkered history with this family. It goes back to the Civil War, and Billy says that he's still using the still that his great-great-grandfather used 160 years ago. Billy's father was Billy's Sunday Burt, who was noted as being one of the most dangerous men in Georgia. He was a member of the Dixie Mafia, and he was a hitman for all of the members of the Dixie Mafia. Yeah, this story is mentioned in the Red Clay podcasts. If you want to hear about it, there's a series of 12 podcasts that detail Billy Sunday's career.
Have you listened to them?
Most of them.
Good?
It's interesting.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
He obviously had no conscience.
Right.
Okay. Other than that, a couple of his ancestors on his mother's side, Pink and John Hegwig, made moonshine as well. And John was hung in 1912 for killing an informant that disclosed the location of his still.
Oh,
and when he was asked if he had any last words, he said, "Let her rip."
Let her rip.
That's it. So that's
a good last
that's
word.
where this comes from. This is 90 proof.
Okay.
It's aged at least 30 days.
Oh, how did they manage to let it age that long?
I don't know. Most moonshine isn't aged at all.
This is, I gotta point out, this color, this is ridiculous for 30 days.
Well, it's apparently, they say it's a family recipe.
Okay.
And that's one of the reasons why his moonshine was so popular, was because they did some things to it. They won't tell you what they are.
Yeah, I was gonna say this speaks to like Prohibition era doctor recipe kind of.
Well, it's sort of it's corn whiskey, but it's made from a sour mash bill.
Okay.
A bourbon bill, So so it should be like.
And we've had raw bourbon before, like right off the still, and it's decent.
It's decent, yeah.
So this might not be rough and tumble.
And if you're not going to pay lots of money in taxes on it, then maybe it's worth it. That's what I guess people thought for a long time.
Yeah. Let her rip. Let her drip. Let her drip. All right. It's not quite as dark, not in the bottle.
It seems hard to imagine, that they would get this much darkness from the charcoal after only 30 days.
No way in hell.
But it's rock solid, so.
Well, okay. Doesn't smell harsh at all.
No.
Doesn't smell terrifically young, although it doesn't smell super mature either. No oak. What do you get on the nose?
Some sort of floral smell.
Yeah.
Smell. It's a clean floral smell on the very top of the smell.
Hard to put my finger on.
Yeah.
Give it a little more air. We just opened this bottle. This is the first pour of this thing.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know how much is gonna open, but it might not be. Might be a little tight. Oh, I just got a slight hint of banana on the nose.
That's maybe what I'm smelling.
Okay, not a bad nose, but not super pungent. Let's give it a whirl.
Okay.
Let her rip.
Okay.
Interesting.
Taste some vanilla in there?
Definitely vanilla. There's definitely, wow, interesting.
It's not, it is very mild.
Well, almost marshmallowy.
Very mild.
Wow. Yeah, like vanilla toasted marshmallows, and then this like kind of dry minerally finish. And then it's just gone.
I thought that dry minerally, the finish lasts a little bit longer for me. Try it again.
You know, it's still going. It's
Yeah.
just such a mild flavor.
It's
that
mild,
just
yeah.
kind of poof.
Oh yeah,
You know,
it's very drinkable.
it is very drinkable. I'm shocked, to be honest. Hint, just like an ever so slight hint of soapiness in the smell.
Yeah.
But interesting.
Yeah. Now, as far as I know, their whiskeys are only available at the distillery.
It looks like a very small local operation. In
And
fact, the label is, you know, kind of pixelated in the text and the image, and it's not the most information available on here, but this is definitely a small-time operation. I gotta say, this is pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
It's unique.
Well,
I haven't
it's
had anything like it.
Yeah, they also make some brandies, which are very nice.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Brandies.
Oh yeah, they
Where do they get the grapes from?
Not grapes. I mean, it's apple and other kinds of things.
Oh, okay.
But they distill it up to a very, very high proof, so that when they bring it down to the normal drinking proof, it's pretty clean.
Light and clean.
Yeah, they're very nice.
Man, I wonder if that's what they do with this.
Well,
This is very
he
light.
said they distill things sometimes up to 10 times.
I was gonna say, well, I was thinking maybe, because it didn't say anything about it being barrel proof, I was gonna think like maybe this is almost like what they would call a light whiskey, where they distill it to a really high proof, then bring it down.
It doesn't have a very heavy body.
Not at all.
So
Not at
yeah,
all.
it might have been distilled too.
And it's at 90 proof now, so about normal. Interesting. It's very interesting. I mean, yes, you could drink it. I wouldn't even mix it with stuff because you wouldn't really detect it that much. I don't think it wouldn't really hold its own as a mixer. This is an interesting one, and if it is based on an old recipe, that's pretty interesting. Maybe if this is somewhat close to like a Prohibition era kind of doctored whiskey kind of a thing, I mean, not too bad. It's probably significantly better than what they. Well, it won't kill us. Hopefully, they use formaldehyde. in it.
No, they didn't do it.
No formaldehyde.
No. He's he's a very nice guy. He is.
Mhm.
You know,
This is cool.
he just was sort of a guy that grew up with his father, and it wasn't until he got to be fairly old that he, in his late teens, that he began to figure out what his father was doing for a living.
Oh, what did he think about that? Did he speak to it?
Well, he doesn't really approve of it, but his father was good to him. But
Yeah.
what he did outside the house,
He's obviously embraced it now.
Well, oh yeah, absolutely. He
Yeah.
to give all those interviews for that Red Clay podcast. It was a lot. The
Interesting
Dixie
stuff.
Mafia was into drugs and moonshine, prostitution,
All of it, the whole
bank robbing, burglary, all sorts of stuff. And he talks about that in the podcasts. So
Yeah.
I would, if you're at all interested, I would listen to some of them.
And somebody paid with their life trying to give up where this stuff was distilled. So don't try to get too much information on this place.
Well, we know where it's distilled now. It's legal.
Okay, all right.
There we go.
Now you
So-
had the idea, because this is so young,
Yeah.
to try it next to one of our previous tastings, the Buffalo Trace Wheated Mash Bill White Dog, which we know has no age. It is significantly stronger. I think what we should do, and what we should have done last time, is maybe add a little bit of water
All right.
to bring that proof down, so it doesn't just like blow the head off of something else we're trying. What do you think
Okay,
about
that would be fine.
Okay, roughly the same proof here. So unaged.
Ah,
Jesus.
there is much more of a nose on that. Oh, you can smell
I
the
hated
youth.
it before, and
You smell that.
oh God, yes.
The youth, that corn right on top
Rancid corn.
of it. Well, I
Yeah,
would say
I know.
rancid. Come on, it wasn't rancid.
It's like unsweetened candy corn.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's give it a shot.
All right. Okay. All right, God. It does taste much better than it smells. Okay.
Yeah.
You might not be that far off here.
Oh, this is definitely sweeter, more flowery and banana-y. It's got a lot more.
The nose destroys.
Oh man,
The white
is that,
dog.
isn't that vanilla in there?
Heavy vanilla. It is a much better drink all around than the White Dog.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you remember how much this cost?
About $25.
And this was probably like 30 something.
I think it's about 25 to 30, something like that.
You know what? I'm going to give a surprising, like, maybe even 2 thumbs up for this one, the Rock Solid. It's pretty good stuff. Like, if you go there, if you're interested in the story and you pick it up, you won't be disappointed. I don't think for $25, it's pretty interesting, good stuff.
When we were there, we had a nice talk. We sat down and we got to sample all the things. This was nice.
Yeah.
I got a bottle, and I think if you want to, and Winder is not too far away. It's worth the trip, and if they have this whiskey, it's worth buying it.
Yeah.
They make just a small amount of it, so they may be out of it sometimes. You could probably call ahead and make sure they have it in stock. They probably hold it for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I mean, I think it's
give it a thumbs up. Actually, I'm still getting a little bit of hints. I'm getting actually a little bit of cinnamon on the finish now. I don't know if you have detected that at all.
Well, it's complex, but
they have a nice little formula going. So if you like what we're doing and you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe. Click the little bell notification to see what's coming up next. And if you have any suggestions on something you'd like to see or questions or comments, hit us up in the comment section and we'll be happy to answer at some point. Until then, let her rip. Caramel corn. No, unsweetened.
What is that, water?
Guest appearance by my other son.
You can look at me.
Stop it, Brad! Get the fuck away from the. I have to work so hard to ignore you.
Well, why ignore him? He's there,
Because then we're just gonna be looking above the camera. We'll just. All right. Anyway, here we go.
Okay.